So I have a joke for you. Why did the therapist bring a ladder to the therapy session? Because they wanted to help their client climb out of an emotional hole. I know that myself have been in that emotional hole. So if that's also you, then come along because I definitely have a ladder and a helping hand to help all of us get through together. What defines emotional trauma? Emotional trauma is the psychological pain and distress caused by distressing experiences, which can lead to ongoing emotional and psychological difficulties. If you have emotional trauma, or better yet, any trauma, this applies to you. All traumas vary, but at the end of the day, it's still something that is a psychological pain that is causing you ongoing pain. Some of the examples of trauma can be neglect, abuse, loss, witnessing a traumatic event itself, and there's a ton more that could be the root of your trauma. What is the importance of understanding the emotional impact of trauma? Understanding it will allow you to validate your feelings. It will allow you to be empathetic, not to just yourself, but to others. It allows you to heal. It allows you to also no longer have harm come from this trauma. What are the effects? How does it play a role into how it affects our life and changes it? For one, it impacts your mental health. Whether that's your anxiety being risen, your stress, flashbacks, nightmares, depression, all of these things are playing a role of how you live your day-to-day life. It, for one, impacts your mental health. Your anxiety could be higher, you could be more depressed, you could be having flashbacks, you could even have nightmares. It disrupts your brain's response system. That can be the way that you regulate your stress. It could be the way that your emotions are processed, maybe even your memory. Regardless of what it is your memory might not be the same anymore. The way that your stress regulates might not be the same anymore. You could find yourself being more stressed than typical. You could find yourself not being able to process the emotions correctly. And all of that then plays a role into building healthy relationships. When you have emotional trauma or any other trauma that could be hindering your growth and your life, it can make it difficult for you to build new and healthy relationships. And I'm not even going to just say new, like any. This could be family, friends, coworkers, anyone. Any person that is in your life, a lot of the times they're all based off of the way you live, right? If you are going through something and you feel as if I do not deserve these type of friends or I do not deserve this, you are having trust issues. You are being scared of feeling vulnerable. All of that is due to the fact of your trauma. Your trauma is the thing that is holding you back from building those healthy relationships, from not being super anxious and depressed. If you do not know the impact of it that it has on your life currently right now, you're always just going to then normalize that that is how you're supposed to feel. I'm here to tell you that you should not feel that way and that it's not normal to feel that way. So with all of that being said, how do we become aware? The first thing you need to do is create a safe space. This could be where you journal, this could be you meditating, this could be talking to a friend. But whatever it is, it needs to be somewhere where you feel comfortable to actually become vulnerable, actually dig deep and open up. The second thing you need to do is you need to acknowledge your emotions without judging them. When you feel a certain way, it's okay. Maybe every time that you feel this way, is it the feeling that you're going for? No. But acknowledging your emotions and allowing yourself to just see them as human responses, that's going to be a game changer. You're no longer going to be criticizing yourself for doing something that's just human nature. Everyone has emotions. Sometimes it's just harder for us to control them. And it's easier to do that when we understand them. The last thing that you're going to do is have self-reflection. Become aligned with yourself. I probably say it in every video and you guys are like, you say the same thing. But genuinely, if you become aligned with yourself and you know what you want, you know what you value, you know how things make you feel because of your becoming to understand yourself, a lot of the traumas that you then have in life, they start to mellow out. They're just background music. By doing all of that, what does it do for you? What it does is that it provides a safe space for you to become vulnerable, as I mentioned earlier. You're opening up, you're becoming understanding to how you feel. You're having empathy for yourself. All of that will play a role into your life, and what you have in your life, you will then exhibit onto other people. Because if you have all of this emotional trauma and baggage in your head, every single thing that you do, you're judging, you're criticizing, you're thinking, no one should be doing this. This is the wrong way. You are not the wrong way. So allow yourself to then just be able to, hey, I'm doing this and it is okay. And when you realize the things that you're doing are okay, you can then find ways to cope. We have all this information now. How do we recover? Recovery, this is going to be the hard part. Everything else before, super easy. This part here, if you actually want to see results, it's going to take a lot of time. I promise you, you do every single thing that I mentioned, and you're going to see a whole different life. You're going to probably even see a different person because of all those traumas that you held on to, and you allowed yourself to then say, this is normal, this is right. It's false. Completely false, completely untrue. But it just takes you to open up and feel safe for it. That's all easy. The hard part is seeing that change in your life. Everyone wants the results and everyone just wants to see things differently. But sometimes we just have to deal with that this is how life is. I'm not happy all the time, but I allow myself to understand that, hey, you're probably not happy right now for a very good reason. But that is an emotion. Emotions are temporary. I could be happy right now and I can be mad the next minute, but guess what? It's still the same day. So by acknowledging everything that you're going through that is actually very much so human, you're able to really gain into that recovery. So what are the actual recovery methods now? Okay. The first one, if you feel as if you are too deep down into this hole right now and that you probably are not going to be able to get out yourself, go seek help. Professional help is your only answer at this point. That is not to just kind of throw you away and say, oh, I can't help you. But no, some people, they just need a little bit more of a push. And you might be in that situation where your depression is kicking your ass and you're just like, yeah, I don't think that I can do this myself. That is fine. I was in that position. Literally a couple years ago, I was in therapy and it was great. I was able to figure it out. Before you go to therapy, understand where you're going. If you don't understand where you're going, they're going to find what it is. And what they find might not necessarily be the thing that you actually were trying to get fixed, because that just might be actually a symptom of something else that you're going through. So like therapy can be very tricky, but be patient. Don't rush into it. Find a therapist that connects with you. Because if you aren't able to connect with the therapist, it's probably just not going to help you in general, and you're paying for that. So find a therapist that you connect with and find out before you even go, what is it that I want to fix? Because once you do that, you have something that you're actually going to be working towards, and you can see an end goal. Now, if you aren't that person and you're like, hey, I might be able to do this myself, do self-care and self-compassion. If you have not seen my last video that talks about self-compassion, go watch it. Because a lot of your emotional trauma probably is from you not loving yourself. But regardless, it's just the actions that you do in your life that will show you the life that you're deserving. If you wake up every day and you go, I hate life, life sucks, guess what? Your life probably will suck. If you wake up and you go, you know what? This is not a great day, but guess what? I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to get ready for the day. Boom. Your life might suck, but at least you are living it for yourself, baby. Meditate. Journal. Shadow work. I cannot say it enough. If you are not doing shadow work, this does not have to mean that I'm going to go write down in my journal all the stuff. No, you can voice memo. You can record yourself. But it's all about the intention of, am I doing my shadow work? Am I digging deeper? And if you are getting deeper and closer to what is lying down in that emotional hole, well, then you'll get there. You'll see the results soon enough. And like I said, it is such a long process, but baby, when I tell you, you are going to be thankful that every single thing that I just said, you take in, right? And you realize that if I do even an ounce of this, I might begin to feel better. Last month, and when I say last month, I mean 30 days ago. So let's talk about the end of January. At the end of January, I did not have my life together. I didn't have a routine. I didn't have a schedule. Like, I was just winging life. Now, I have a routine. I have a schedule. I am doing everything that I need to do. And that's helping me also stay focused. And one of the main things that's helped me do that is I found my creative outlet. Finding your creative outlet and allowing yourself to just be creative, however that is going to help. Do not focus on the little details. Don't get caught up in it. Realize that you just have to acknowledge what is going on, become aware, understand the impact from it, and learn how to recover from it. Understand your triggers. Understand the way that you cope. You are the key. You have always been the key to getting the life you want. You. No one else can do it but you. And I only keep saying this because a lot of times I would watch all these videos and I'm like, they're going to tell me something and it is just going to change my world. And it's like, okay, they're telling me something, but I also have to do that. So do it. Stop trying to load yourself up with all this information and just do something with it. You'll feel so much better. So thank you all for watching, and I really do hope that this helps you because it's not easy and it can feel as if you're alone at times, but you're not alone. There are so many people just like you that are going through this. Acknowledge it, accept it, recognize it, and get through it. Thank you all again, and take care. Bye.